Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with another war video, and today ISO8A is taking on MIBR. So, going into this war, ISO8A was in third and fourth, and MIBR was in third. It actually just worked out this war that first place was versus second place, and third place versus fourth place in the same war. So GT40 faced off versus TCN. And we were less than a win behind TCN and MIBR, which means that if we win this war, TCN loses, we wouldn't just get into top 3. We would be in second place. So we really needed to win this war. The war did not go that great, but we definitely didn't have like a horrible war or anything. Especially since the last war, we only had 1 death total. So I was on path 9, section 1, to path 7, section 2. Now I only have 3 fights. I have 1 Quake fight, 2 Nimrod fights, and 2 CGR fights. This was a rank 4 Ebony Maw on path 9 section 1, and the reason I didn't like Quake as an assignment, so when I was first told this, I said I really don't like Quake as the option for this Ebony Maw, and the reason is because of the node Shout and Frude, with this being a rank 4. If you were to make a mistake while quaking, while Ebony Maw has the miss debuff on you, so like right there, and he 5-hit combos you, you will die even with an invulnerability boost. So when I get to 90% after having half suicides on, if both of his hits crit, you will die if he does a 5-hit combo. So my concern was having a near perfect Quake fight using an invulnerability boost and still dying. And there aren't really many places where you will die from 2 hits while quaking. That is one of the places where you will. So luckily I had a perfect Quake fight, so it didn't end up mattering, but the risk was very real and it was still there. So this is going to be my second fight. This is Weapon X, and Weapon X is kind of an idiot. He plays really, really annoying in this fight. Now, what I should have been doing is I should have been landing my parries here. But because I end up just hitting into his block the entire time, waiting for the poison, now that the poison's here, I am going to be building my charges up from removing the regen. But here he refuses to throw his special 1, so he wastes the rest of our poison phase, which means that I'm going to have to eat some damage right here. So I'm going to go for a counter to his heavy there. I'm just going to ignore the incinerates because they're not going to take off that much, because I knew the L2 would kill. So that was a 90%. I finished with 90%. It actually ended up not mattering that I didn't land the parries at the beginning, because my L2 still killed, and it would have saved me any time. Literally, it would have been the exact same amount of time. I just would have been like 1 or 2% lower on health from the parries. But yeah, pretty nice Nimrod fight. And now we have this same Vision Aarkus that we had last war, but the difference is that this one is unduped, which means that there is no need to land a reparry off the start of the fight. And the difference between this war and last war, so the reason that I'm at an the reason I'm at an L3 and not another L2 is I'm running suicides this war. I was not running suicides last war, like not even half suicides. I was running none, or else I would have been left at 2 bars. It was actually 4 seconds faster to not get pushed to the L3, but the L3 is just kind of safer, and it does so much damage that I was confident it would kill. And the combo I did there was a little weird, so I did I ended with a light attack, and then I did like my medium attack. And the reason I did that was my heavy. I just did that for the aptitude. Now this Domino is going to be really, really annoying. Dom and Ho, more like. And I'm healing up Nimrod and CGR because they each have 1 fight left. But I did actually switch on full suicides after that Aarkus fight, just because actually, honestly, it didn't really make a difference for the Aarkus fight. Because he had Shout and Frude from my bleed anyways. Or sorry, from the armor break anyways. But here we're going to be using our power back boost, and because I'm using full suicides, I am going to get pushed to an L3 in this fight, even with 150% boost, and I knew that would happen. So I knew there was no real reason to waste a 200% boost. Also, I was down to only one 200% boost because they had not been in the store recently. So yeah, I'm going to be throwing on an advanced power boost for both of these fights here. And I'm not really worried about this Domino fight just because I've pretty much already accepted that she's going to go straight to an L3. So my goal is mostly just get to an L2, eat the L3, throw the L2, or throw my L2 first. Doesn't really matter. There I was able to get the counter so that I could parry and still counter after, because if you dash back you can't parry the beam and still counter. So here I'm going to throw my L2. She evades the first 2 hits, which is just annoying. And then she throws the L3 while she's dying from the shock. She's going to go down to, I believe it's 3% from the shock, and then it is going to expire. Now I eat the L3, but I mean that's kind of part of the strat of this fight. I wasn't too worried about it. And then there she evaded again. She just had really, really good luck with evades in this fight. And now we're on to our last fight. Like, I was never even slightly worried about that fight. This is Knull. I'm surprised this was only a rank 3 Knull, because this is MIBR, which is like a top alliance. I wanted to go for the full CGR cycle just so that he would be power locked after my L2, and I do know that I would not be at an L3 by the time I got to my special attack, so I was safe to do that. Right there, I was actually spamming my block trying to throw my special 3, and somehow he managed to throw his L2 before I could throw my L3. So I just kind of sat there, took it all on the block, and then went in for a few hits to counter, and the fight was over. And that's it. That's my whole war. I only had 5 fights. Very, very short war for me. We lost with a score of 7-3. Just wasn't the best war. Didn't really work out. I was looking for a path where I could take more fights, but the only option I found, which was 9 fights, had me using magic for 3 fights. And to be honest, I do still think that magic was the right call for those fights, but we didn't actually die to the fights with the, in my opinion, suboptimal champions we sent there. To be fair, they were 6-star rank 4s, so the level of safety is higher. But I just think that the strat of the fight that I had kind of designed in my head was maybe a little safer for a competent player. But we didn't die, so literally there was nothing I could possibly complain about. To any of the fights that I would have taken, we did not die. So, yeah, and it just didn't really make sense to send a team with 2 5-stars if we didn't die with rank 4 6-stars. So, yeah. Also, something kind of shocking is TCN beat GT40. They beat them, which no one saw coming, especially when TCN had died 2 times in their first 5 fights. We thought TCN was just going to throw the war because the Valkyrie arena was going on and they need her for prestige. And that didn't happen. We thought it was happening when we saw a screenshot of them at 5 attacker kills and 2 deaths. But they tied 4-4 and TCN won on time, which is crazy. No one saw that coming. But due to that, MIBR only went up to 3rd place. And had we won, we would have also been to 3rd place. Because we just assumed, like, it's GT40. They're going to win their war. And it just didn't happen that way. So they've now lost, I believe, 2 times in the last 2 seasons. Once to JA and once to TCN. So GT40 is not unbeatable. So as of right now, we are sitting in 4th place. And the alliances in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are both like 1.2 wins ahead of us. Or sorry, not both. All three of them are like 1.2 to 1.3 wins ahead of us. So even if we were to win, let's say theoretically none of the top three match each other, which actually did happen. None of them matched each other because I already know what the War 11 matchups are. None of them matched each other. Oh, wait, no. MIBR matched TCN. Yeah, MIBR matched TCN War 11. Okay, so assuming GT40 wins, because they're against Slice'em Gaming Alliance, they should win like 2 to 50. I'm exaggerating, obviously. SGA is a good alliance. GT40 is going to win. They're going to stay in first place. And then one of either MIBR or TCN is going to lose. And if we win Wars 11 and 12, it would take the loser of MIBR and TCN to lose again in War 12 for us to pass them. Because if we win and they lose, we still just barely don't pass them. Now, I don't believe anyone else can pass them, so I believe it's like the top four are locked. So GT40, MIBR, TCN, and ISO8A are going to be the top four alliances. It's just who ends in the top three. Now, theoretically, anyone could end first. Theoretically, we could end first. But it would... no. We can end second. Yeah, we can end second because one of MIBR or TCN has to win at least once. But GT40 is not going to lose, so we can't pass them. And then either TCN or MIBR is going to win, and we can't pass them. So we just need to hope that the loser of MIBR TCN War 11 also loses their War 12, and then we would get third place. So that's what we're hoping for right now. But there's not really much we can do. We are now 8-2 on the season. This was actually just our second loss, and we've actually only lost two alliances above us. TCN and MIBR, who are in second and third, are our two losses this season. We are, like I said, 8-2. I have 2 deaths on the season. My PSR is 53 out of 55, which is like 96.3%. And my deathless streak is up to 6. So that is going to be all for this war. I know kind of like half this video was me talking about matchups for War 11, like the theoretical things that could happen. But it was just kind of a short war video, so I didn't really know what to say. That is going to be all, and I will see you all in the next one.